When you are broke, it sucks. Being broke is so much more expensive than being flush with cash. Now notice I didn't say being poor is expensive, although it could be, but when you're broke, you don't have the money to be able to pay for things that you should be able to pay for. If you're not living within your means, it can be very, very costly. Let me give you some examples. I'll give you 11 examples. Number one is bank fees. How many of you guys have had bank fees? I know I've had these terrible bank fees in the past. When I was broke, $30 here, $30 there. One month it's 90, one month it's 150 before you even realize what's going on. Bank fees are terrible. If you're broke, you're likely in debt, and if you're in debt, you're likely paying interest on stupid stuff like credit cards, car loans, student loans. All the interest you're paying is a waste, just pure waste of money. You're not getting anything for it. Rich people don't waste money. Rich people don't pay interest. They don't borrow. At least they don't borrow on things that don't give them anything. Broke people may not have access to good financial systems like good banks or a bank. You might be using a check cashing place. You know those are terrible. Extraordinary fees. People with money and good financial history are being asked to move to new banks. They're being enticed. Open a new savings account or checking account. Here's $200. Here's $300. Here's $400 or more, just by opening an account and having direct deposit, let's say. Broke people, poor people aren't asked to, they don't even have a bank, much less being asked to go to a new bank. When you're broke, you don't maintain things, so things break, such as your car. Let's say instead of doing that $70 maintenance on your brakes or your battery or your transmission, you avoid it. You just put your head in the sand and don't even think about it. Well, that $70 that you should have spent now just cost you $1,000. That doesn't happen to people who are organized, who have money, who take care of their things. We could look at something as simple as laundry. If you don't have money, you may not live in a place that has your own washer dryer, which means you're going to the laundromat, which means you're spending a lot more money and transportation costs on washing and drying your clothes than you even should be. If you're broke, your credit is likely not good, which means you won't be able to get the best apartment if you're trying to rent an apartment. So that, let's say, $1,500 apartment that you wanted in a good area of town, you can't get that. Now you have to pay $1,200, which is not even that much less, for a much worse apartment in a much worse side of town. And the security deposit is likely higher. When you have that apartment or house, you're much more likely to be evicted because you're not coming up with the rent, or you might get foreclosed in your house because you can't come up with the mortgage. If you have to reinstate the mortgage, I'm sure there'll be fees on top of that mortgage. If you're kicked out of your apartment, you're staying in a hotel, that's crazy money, of course, per day. So that's costing you even more money. Whatever building you are living in, you're likely not in the best, most efficient building, so your furnace might be outdated, not efficient. The air conditioning is not efficient. The insulation in the house or building is not good, so you're using your heat even more. All that snowballs into money going out the window. And the last point I have for you is groceries. You're likely to live in a neighborhood where you don't have access to the best stores. You can't buy in bulk. The food stores who come into your neighborhood have to charge more for groceries because there's more theft, etc. So not only is the stores worse, you're paying more for them. It's harder to get to. Your food situation is not good and costing you more money than it should be. So there you have it. There's 11. I'm sure there are many, many more. Now the good news is that you don't have to be rich to correct most of these things. You need to budget. You need to live below your means. You have to save 15 to 25% of your income. You have to have a good emergency fund so that you have this buffer against when things do go bad, and they will go bad. Hint, hint, spoiler alert, things go bad all the time. If you want a great video about having an emergency fund, I have one called The World's Best Emergency Fund coming up right here or right here. Please watch that. If this one was valuable to you, please give me a like or a comment, or a subscription would be great. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.